Today I'm going to show you how to customize your Tekken 8 characters to look like the Final Fantasy VII cast. I got the whole gang here. We got Cloud, Tifa, Sephiroth, we got Cait Sith. Just bounce around to the timestamps below. You can find your favorite character, see what they look like, see how I made them, and then take them online for yourself. If you have any edits, if you did anything different when you made these characters, let me know. Tell me in the comments. I want to hear from you. I'd love to make a follow-up video with your changes. I think that could be pretty cool, so please let me know. But without further ado, let's get into this. This is Final Fantasy VII in Tekken 8. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself. It's Cloud Strife, and I used Jin Kazama to make our Cloud. I kind of thought their attitude was similar, so that's why I went with him. This is the OG Cloud, by the way. That's why we went with this distinctive purple. I think in a follow-up video I could make Cloud more in his modern style, which was kind of the Advent Children style onwards. But I love this one because I grew up with, of course, the OG Final Fantasy VII, and so this is Cloud to me. Let's take a look here at just how I broke down everything. Also, Jin's hair was perfect, I just want to say. So that's also another reason why he was chosen as Cloud here. We used the Cyber eyes to give us those materia eyes. It's the attention to detail here. I'm just gonna run through all of these colors here. Yep, didn't even use anything for these last three. Clothes, nothing for head, full face, glasses. Entire body, but upper body we used the turtleneck. I thought that gave the kind of that cool line effect that Cloud has in the old games. Let's run down exactly these color nodes here for you, so you can get as close to this as possible. Then lower body is just the cargo pants, as you can see. That's the color node there. Shoes, the boots. Here's the two color tones for that. And then of course for our accessory, we threw on the warrior shoulder pad. Here's the stats of how to place it. And here's the three color nodes. I kind of will make it look like Cloud's shoulder pad there. And then I also went with the sword, the ninja katana. Placement is here. And the color nodes are, as you can see here, one is distinctively light blue to kind of read his materia. Hopefully that comes across. But that is how you make the mighty Cloud Strife in Tekken 8. Tifa, I think, turned out great. I used Jun as my base character model. I thought that her attitude was kind of on point. But I actually think Reina could be a pretty good choice, considering she has these very distinctive punches and kicks. I think that could work as well. But that's really up to you when you make your Tifa Lockhart. Let's break down exactly how to get Jun to look like Tifa. Just gonna run through all the nodes here. Nothing out of the ordinary here. And then for clothes, nothing for head, full face, or glasses. Not entire body, but upper body is where we are gonna use the tank top. Let me run down the color nodes for you here. There you go. And then lower body, it's the mini skirt with the belt. That's gonna get us as close to Tifa in the game as possible. Finally, for shoes, I used Zafina sandals with the garter. I think that actually kind of reads as some of Tifa's belts there, so I think it turned out pretty good. And here's the two color nodes here. Just turns the shoes that distinctive red. But other than that, that's all you need to make Tifa Lockhart. I think she turned out great. It's a simple costume, but I would say pretty effective. Here he is, it's the leader of Avalanche, Barret, and we are using Raven as the character model. One thing I love about this costume is that gun arm there, which uses two of the, I guess it's the bangles or the metal bracelets. I love when these character customizations take something that should not be the item that you're looking for, but we kind of just make it work. That's exactly what happened here, because how are you going to make a gun arm in Tekken 8? Well, you got to use your imagination. Let's run through exactly how to make Barret here. It's the buzz cut for the hair. Eyes default. We are going to use the beard. Here's eyebrow color. No makeup, face paint. We are going to use tan. For clothes, nothing for head or full face or glasses. Nothing for entire body. Upper body is the Wild Rider jacket. Here's the color node there. And lower body is the cargo pants. There's that distinctive green that Barret has. Shoes is boots. Here's the color palette here. And then nothing for unique. For accessory, here you go. This is how you're gonna make that gun arm. We're gonna use the bracelet. Here's the stats on how to place the first one. You are gonna have to place 2. And there's the color node there. And here's the second one. There's the stats. And there, it's the same color there. That is all you need to make Barret. I think he turned out great. So take him online, kick some butt. Here's another one I think turned out great. This is, of course, Cid, and we're using Horang as our base model. Horang has those goggles that you can place up here on his head, and it just turned out perfect. He looks great. Let's run down how to make him so you guys can take him online. We're gonna use the Tekken 6 style hair. Eyes are blue. Nothing for the mouth there. Eyebrow color here. No makeup, no face paint, no tan here. And for clothes, nothing for head or full face. Glasses are going to be Tekken 6 style. Here's the color nodes. Let me just run through that for you here. Great. Not going to use entire body. Upper body is going to be the aviator jacket, which makes sense, considering that Cid is a pilot. Let me run down these color nodes for you. Great. For lower body, we're going to use cargo pants. Here's the color node there. Shoes are boots again. Everyone in Final Fantasy VII wearing cargo pants and boots. For accessories, we of course need Cid's lance, and we need his distinctive cigarette that he always has. So, let me show you exactly how to get that here. Can't change the placement for the lance, that's okay. And then, of course, for the cigarette, here's the placement that I used. And then, you can't change the color of that, so we just have to go with Cid having a green cigarette. It works! It works! I think it turned out awesome. I definitely would know this was Cid online. Well, he may not be perfect, but he's the best that you can get in Tekken 8 customizations. This is King as Red 13. Let's run down exactly how to make him here. Nothing for head. For full-faced, for full face, we're gonna use this mask here. And here is the color palette. How I got that distinctive Red 13 look there. Nothing for glasses. Entire body is also gonna be this suit here. Let me run down the color nodes here. This red, I think is actually on every single one. Let me see. Yeah, it is, yeah. So that's easy to do. Nothing for upper body, lower body, or shoes, because it's the entire body that we use there. And then nothing for accessories. It's a simple costume. It's kind of funny, admittedly, but I do think as far as getting as close to Red 13 as you can get in Tekken 8, this is your best bet. You know which character you don't have to use your imagination for? It's Reina as Yuffie. This one, I think, turned out perfect. Almost spot on. It's kind of amazing. Let's run down exactly how to make Yuffie here. We're gonna use the default hairstyle. Eyes default. Mouth, nothing there. All these, I believe. Oh, well, we did use the natural cheeks there. Nothing for face paint, and no tan. For clothes, we are going to use the Japanese headband. Here's the color node there. No full face, no glasses. Entire body is going to be the Tekken 8 style, it's the alternate. And here are the color nodes on how to get Reina to look like Yuffie here. This one, I just think, it's almost spot on. It's almost perfect. So nothing for upper, lower body, or for shoes. No unique either. Accessory, we're gonna throw on that warrior shoulder pad. Here's the stats on how to get it right there. And of course, here's the color palette. And then this is something I added. You guys don't have to add this if you don't think it reads. But I throw on the aquamarine. Here's the stats there. Just to have, like, a piece of materia floating in front of her. I thought that was kind of funny. So I threw that on there. You guys definitely don't have to. I don't think it's necessary. But I do think that she turned out great. I think Reina's costume here is pretty close to Yuffie already. Well, I have another silly one for you. This is, of course, Cait Sith, and we're gonna use Kuma. Is it ridiculous? Kinda. Does it also read as Cait Sith? I think so. I think so. So maybe it's worth making this customization and just keeping it on hand if you want to showcase all your Final Fantasy VII characters. So for entire body, we're going to use the Tekken 8 style alternate B. That's going to get the white fur for us. Accessory, we're going to use succubus wings. Here is the color palette. And here's the placement. And then, of course, we're going to use Plushy Mokujin here. And you just select him, and then there's nothing to change here, so he just kind of floats there. And I think that kind of reads as Cait Sith. Yeah, you have to use your imagination a little bit. Here's my Claudio as Vincent. I think he's awesome. The only thing that I wish we could have is the shotgun, but I thought it was more important to have the cape and to also have that distinctive leather bangle to kind of act as his popped collar there. So maybe in your own personal one, you can choose between, all right, I'll take away the cape, I'll throw on the shotgun. But if you want this look, this is exactly how to make it. Let's run it down. Default hairstyle. There's the color node there. Eyes default. I'll just run through everything here for you guys. And then for clothes, we're going to use Japanese headband long. Here's the color node there. Nothing for full face, no glasses. Entire body is going to be the hunting cross. Here are the color nodes here. And one thing I love about this costume is it has inspired me now to make Final Fantasy X in Tekken. So stick around for that video coming soon. I think this looks a lot like Auron from Final Fantasy X. Just a few adjustments would need to be made, but I think it works. So that'll be coming soon. Nothing for upper body, lower body, or for shoes then. An accessory, here's how you're gonna get that popped collar look that I had. You're gonna use leather bangle. Here's the placement. And of course, here's the color node here. And then, here's the cloak. Nothing to change for placements. And here are the two color nodes that I used. And that is how you're gonna make Vincent. Here she is, everyone's first crush. It's Aerith, also known as Aerith, of course, and we used Elisa as the base model. I realize that Elisa is a robot and has chainsaw arms. Look, beggars can't be choosers in Tekken 8 customization, but I think that the dress and that distinctive, as you can see, kind of that like shoulder pad there, just turned out great on this character. So that's why I went with her for Aerith. Let's take a look at how to get everything to look like Aerith here. We should run through the color nodes real quick. Distinctive green eyes, of course. There we go. And yes, we're going to use lip color for this one. Awesome. For head, nothing for head or full face, or for glasses, entire body is going to be the standard Tekken 8 style. Let's run through these color nodes here. It's not perfect, I admit, but I do think it's pretty close. I like that there's flowers on it as well. I think, oh, there's our last node there. Considering that Aerith is, of course, the flower girl. Nothing for upper body, lower body, or for shoes. Let's look at accessory. We do have the knotted ribbon, and that's going to be placed here, as you can see. We put it on the back of her head there. That's her distinctive bow. It's the attention to detail here, guys. Attention to detail. And then, of course, here's the color node. That pink we've been using. And, yes, we're gonna throw on her staff as well. Nothing for placement. And there's the color nodes there. And that's how you make Aerith. Guys, when I was making Sephiroth, I went through like 3 different iterations of what I thought was the closest to Sephiroth. At one point I used Lars because of his distinctively long jacket, and I thought that like was pretty close. But I ended up going with Devil Jin. I think the wings are just too good. So, and of course the attitude too. But I think he turned out great. Let's run down exactly how to make Devil Jin look like Sephiroth. We're going to use the Claudio swept-back hair. And of course it's going to be that white hair, just like Sephiroth. Let's run through everything here. And all these we're not going to use at the end here. For clothes, nothing for head, full face, or glasses as usual. Entire body is going to be the Tekken 8 style. We're going to see a lot of blacks here, and I think some purples and whites as well. Oh, actually, no purples. No purples at all. There you go. That's how you, that's how you're gonna make Sephiroth's clothes here. This is a very challenging outfit here. There's the last note there. And then nothing for upper body, lower body, or for shoes. For accessory, we used the hair extensions to kind of make Sephiroth's distinctively long hair and kind of get that look. So here's the placement for this first straight hair extension. And then there's the color node there. And here's the second one. There's your placement. And that's the color node. The final thing I did, of course, was throw on this aura. It's the Vigor Purple, because Sephiroth is always charging and doing something evil. So we have to have that. That's all you need, though, to make Sephiroth. I think Devil Jin makes a great Sephiroth. But there's a few options for this one, which I think is pretty cool. And that is how we make Final Fantasy VII and Tekken. Make these characters, take them online, kick some butt, use some limit breaks, or I guess because it's Tekken, it would be guard breaks. So do some kind of breaks online and show Final Fantasy VII some representation in Tekken 8. If you like this video, if you want to see more Tekken content or just video game content in general, would love for you to like and subscribe. It helps me out so much and I would love to see you again. But until then, I'll catch you next time.